We'll be working with slide layers a lot in Storyline, so it's a good idea to get comfortable with common tasks. You'll often be creating additional layers. There are a couple of ways you can do this. One way is to go down to the Layers panel and select the new layer icon. The other way is copying an existing layer since the layers usually share the same formatting properties. Select the layer you want to copy. In this case, it's mini image, and then come down to the duplicate selected layer icon and click that. And then, of course, you would give it a name. We have to name layers since it's a general practice, a good practice. We're going to double click in here and name this one product 1 or any name you would like. Hit enter. Now you can change the order of layers by selecting it and dragging it up and down. And you can delete a layer by selecting it, the one you want to delete. Now sometimes you want to change the way a layer behaves. To do that, you click the gear icon off to the right, and that brings up the slide layer properties. I just want to point out a few options here. Under your visibility options, you have the option to hide other slide layers, which we've selected to hide objects on the base layer, if you didn't want the learner clicking on that, or to hide the slide layer when the timeline finishes. There's actually a pretty important point here in that each layer has its own timeline. Base layer options, you can prevent the user from clicking on the base layer, or you can pause the timeline of the base layer. This comes into play especially when you're creating interactive video. And the revisits option, this would come up into play if you had an interactive object in your layer, say a button with a visited state. If you select the reset to initial state option, when the learner comes back to that layer, it will appear as if the learner had never visited it. If you select the resume safe state option, the layer will appear as the learner left it. You can also let Storyline decide for you. So there you have it, the most common layer tasks you would be performing in Storyline. Just remember, if a layer isn't behaving as it should, have a look at the slide layer properties. So we've come to the end of this video, and in the next video we'll work with buttons. See you in the next video.